Hello, everybody. Welcome back to At Any Age Podcast. This is Kaitlyn.
And Lisa.
And I know it's been a little bit, but we have been on a journey. We vacationed. We went on vacation to Nashville, and that was something else. Lisa, tell us.
It was something else. It wasn't all bad. I can't say it was bad, but I mean, it started off great. We had a great day, and then unfortunately Kaitlyn got sick with the bug, and that lasted for it seemed like forever, but it wasn't forever, but it was for 14 hours.
Yeah.
And then we did go to the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes.
And we saw a great show. And then the next day, we were supposed to go visit my son, and I got sick with the bug. And, yeah, but we did have some good days, and we had some not so good. I think there was more not so good than good, but we're both grateful for the good days that we did have, because there's a reason why things happened, and we were just like, hey, there's a reason why this happened, and we're just going to go with it.
Yeah, it definitely was, God's protection, whether we knew it or not. It was definitely Him kind of looking out for us and making sure that we were, doing the right... I mean, not that we were doing the wrong thing, the intention was to go for Lisa to see her son, but to make sure there must have been a reason. There's always a reason for everything. So I must have had to have gotten sick for a reason, hopefully. But, it was definitely a roller coaster adventure. Like Lisa said, we had good moments, and we had some pretty not so good moments. Not to go into detail, I'll save that. I'm sure you can imagine, because everybody has had the stomach bug, so.
But we did have some good moments singing on the stage there.
We did. We got up on stage. There was no crowd. It was just us.
Well, there was one person watching. We had one.
So at the museum, they had this little stage where we could get up there and sing. So
yeah, we sang a little Ray Charles, right?
Yes, we did. We did indeed.
No more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Ain't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Which is perfect, because it fits into where we are right now, with a lot of people kind of having to hit the road, being it's time for you to exit out of, at least my life. I think I definitely learned lessons on this trip, and honestly, I think that's what God was trying to tell me, because a lot of people have said this. I've read this a lot of places where it's God will keep showing you that this person is messing up till you get it. Right. Till you get that it's time to go. So it really hurts that this person essentially keeps messing up over and over and over again. But it's because God wants you to be seeing and being no, this is not it. You need to exit and get out, because there's so much more for you out there. So, and the pain is going to last, significantly shorter, and God's going to be by your side to pick you up during that pain anyway, to get past, that person. So that was my lesson that I learned. I learned that some people are just not going to show up for you when you need them, especially when you're not feeling great. People are just, you learn. I feel like that's a saying that people say all the time. You learn who's going to be there for you during those awful, awful times. And I definitely learned. So I am stronger and am more confident in my journey going forward, dating, making sure my boundaries are there, and making sure that I'm getting what I deserve and not standing for things that I know are not okay. So, yeah, that's my great lesson that I learned while being sick. Who would have imagined?
You're not settling for less. You're not settling for, you're worth more.
Yes.
You're worth, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I think really coming down to it is putting myself first. Saying, you know what? whatever is going on in your life, whatever brokenness is happening there, I can't stick around for this anymore, because no one can fix someone else. No one can change someone else. That comes from within yourself, and it comes from God. It comes from Him guiding you to where you need to be. And there's no way that you can do for another person what God can do for you. And that's when you need to do what's best for you, and, you know, kind of go backwards and exit and just give it to God and know there's a reason. So, Lisa, you're saying, like, oh, I don't know why this had to happen, or I was saying that too, but there is a reason, and I truly think one of the reasons was because it made me strong enough to get out of a toxic situation, a situation that was not serving me, and that I just kept staying in it because I wanted it to work so bad.
So bad that you weren't focusing on God, that you weren't looking. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. You were focusing on your needs.
Yes.
Your wants and your needs, right?
In a sense, yes, but still, like, obviously we want to put God first, but as human beings, we need to also look out for ourselves, knowing that, you know, it's like complicated, knowing that, like, God, or maybe not so complicated, but I guess it's complicated to explain.
I think sometimes you always have to put God first.
Yes.
So if you put yourself before God and say, well, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want this, and this is what I'm going to go after.
Yeah.
You know, and God knows what you need.
Yes.
You know, He knows what you want.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that's right for you.
True.
But He knows what you need in your life, what is best for you.
Yeah.
You might think, you know, going after that relationship, that's the right thing for you, but He knows that it's not. So it's
well, like I said,
ultimately
that's why,
not going to work.
That's why I said, like, God is going to keep showing you until you finally get it. And I'm so stubborn that it takes me a while to get there, even though I know it. Like, because I'm a realist, but also I'm not. So I see it, and I just don't want to face it, and I just shove it aside, and I'm just stubborn. But then finally, it's like, okay.
Sometimes it's like God has to just, like, knock you on the side of the head and say, wake up, girl.
Basically.
What are you doing?
And
right?
that was the stomach bug.
Yes.
That was my whack.
Like we do with our children. I know Kaitlyn doesn't have any children right now because she's so young, but, you know, when you have children of your own, you know, you want what's best for them, and you're like, well, why, you know, you want to, like, wake up, you know? I mean, and that's an example of how God is with us. We're His children, and He loves us so much, and He wants what's best for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
We gotta
wake up call.
wake up and listen. And so, yeah, that was... We don't know the other reasons why what happened, but I do know that one reason. And we're here to, I don't know, tell the tale and to realize that we're still evolving, and there's no, I don't know, there's still so much more to learn about what you want, how to go after it, how to stay firm in what you want.
And I think we might not know the reason. What happened, why we, you know, a lot of the reasons there are other reasons why, you know, we could have been where we were at that time, why things happened, why we got sick, why we encountered certain people at certain times, right? I mean,
I mean, we did. We went out to eat, like, our last day, and we, our waitress, she... Well, you mostly interacted, Lisa, with her in that respect of... I did, because we were sitting there, and before, you know, our meal, we always give thanks to God for our food and blessings and just providing for us. And she happened to come over after, a little while after, and I was just touched by that. And she was touched. She was like, I just want to let you know that I am so, you know, I was watching you pray, and I was just really touched by that, because here we are from the South, and you would think that people would be praying and stuff. She goes, but you were the first people that she has seen in the restaurant who were praying and giving thanks to the Lord. And that was touching for me.
And then, after our meal, the waitress and myself had a conversation about God, and we were just talking about how he's so awesome, but she also was talking to me about how she just started her relationship with Jesus Christ, which was amazing to me. And we were talking about, I was given a little information about how our stay was in Nashville, how we came there. And then I said, well, maybe, God brought me all the way here from Worcester, and he made all this happen for me to come to you to let you know that, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
And he loves you, and just keep going and embrace him. He's there for you.
Exactly.
And I believe that. I mean, yeah, of course, would God bring me all the way from Worcester to Nashville to meet this girl? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We never know God's plan.
And there's another just reason that we do know. And like you said, there's other ones that we're just going to sit back and we're probably never going to find out.
Right, and that's okay, right?
But if anywhere you're interacting with people and you don't know the effect that you're going to leave, and that's a really powerful one.
It is.
I had my internal sort of realization, and you had more of like a interaction with someone that both things are fulfilling and makes you feel good and puts you on, a stronger path with God and where you need to be.
Absolutely. We both had different
situations
that happened, and I think he planned it that way.
Yeah.
And that's good. I mean, that's all good, and I'm absolutely good with that, and I'm just thankful and grateful.
Yes.
Through our craziness, and
then we're back in our semi-normal. Well, nothing's ever normal for us.
No, it's never normal. Even with the plane ride, it was like, okay, we're all good. And I'm sitting there, and I'm in there, and all of a sudden, I'm like, because I'm not really great on flying anyways, and it was only a 3.5 hour flight.
Well, like 2.5 there, 2.5 back. It wasn't that long.
But, of course, I had a little someone behind me who wasn't very happy, and she was just kicking my seat the whole way. But I was like, oh dear Lord, just please give this child peace and comfort her, because it was late at night, and it was a little child, and she did calm down. And it just shows me that you can't really get upset about things. You don't know what people are going through, and I know I might be going off a little track here, but I mean, we never know what people are going through, so we need to kind of like stop and think before we speak, and just...
Well, there's like another reason. Who knows if someone else was sitting in that seat,
might have reacted in a negative way.
And I knew, because I was like, oh my gosh, if I was sitting there, I would have sucked it up as well. But it's like, it's a good thing Lisa's sitting there, because I know her, and I know she's gonna, breathe through it and think... about how this little one is going through something wicked late at night on an airplane ride, all the way in the back. And so there's another thing that we didn't even realize till like right now.
Right. And
all these blessings that occur, and you just truly don't see it. And
God placed us in these areas for certain reasons that we don't know. And it's okay that we don't know the reason, Sometimes I don't think... But
knowing it gives us that, like, hope, and gives us that, confirmation that we are on this path and we are on this journey. So it's like he pulls it back a little bit to show us, just enough. And then the rest of it is just our ongoing going forward.
He's good. He's a loving father, and is always there for us.
Yeah. So I think like I said, my biggest lesson is probably letting someone go, or more so letting myself, and go back to remembering my worth and who I am and what I deserve.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is so tough. It's not easy. It's not easy at all to think. It also comes back to what you want so bad, that's hard to step back and realize maybe it's not fully what you need right now or what you really want. So that's a tough thing to wrap your head around.
But it's an amazing thing that you have realized that, and
Yeah.
God brought you to that.
Yes.
You know, that you are beautifully, wonderfully, fearfully made. What does he say? You are
Yeah.
fearfully, wonderfully made.
Yes.
Right?
I would say it, but I think I'll get all the words jumbled up.
Well, God knows what we mean.
Yes.
God knows, and that's all that matters. That God knows, and
Yeah.
He loves us, and He cares for us, and He wants what's best for us. And I think He brought you to that point for you
Yeah.
to see that
And
be
giving,
like, I am worth more
Yeah.
than
And there's healthier pathways and different ways to go about it, and we're all gonna get there.
And I think sometimes you have to go through that to get to your
Yes.
pathway.
Yeah.
You have to go through the wrong way
Yes.
to get to the right way.
Although we could just have a whole other conversation about being on the right path and that still being scary and not really knowing. That's a conversation though, folks. That's a conversation I think for one of our next times in itself. Finally feeling like you're on that right path, but maybe having a hard time accepting it because you're so used to the negative or
Not being on the right path
Yeah.
and not being,
Yeah.
not being treated the way that you should
Yeah.
be treated.
Yeah, so it's a whole different thing, but all I know is we got back here nice and safe, and we're back with you guys, and we will continue to share kind of what's going on in our faith and our dating lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody has any questions or comments they'd like to leave, would
Yeah.
absolutely love.
Yes, because you can find us at NEH Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. So please reach out and let us know even maybe what you want to hear. Like Lisa said, comments or questions.
Yeah, or if you'd like to join us on our podcast,
Yes.
absolutely.
Exactly. Everybody has a story to tell. And God will help guide us to tell that story.